The 2023 Acura Integra is basically a Civic Si in a tuxedo. What I mean by that is it's a Civic Si with some luxurious features like some leather, Alcantara, and a very nice ELS Studio sound system. So, since this is basically a Civic, it should be quite efficient, but just how efficient today, we're going to find out. This is Chris here with Daily Motor, and today we've got the real-world highway fuel economy test on the 2023 Acura Integra 6-speed manual. Before we get started, let's hop out, take a look at it. So this car's been out for a little bit now, but this is the first chance I've had to spend some time with the new Integra. This is an A-spec 6-speed manual, and underneath, basically a Civic Si, 1.5-liter turbocharged 4-cylinder engine, 6-speed manual, front-wheel drive, but this one gives you some more amenities over the Civic Si. Honda's pretty sparse with what options you can actually put on their cars, so it's nice that if you want a Civic Si, but you want certain things that aren't offered, you're able to step up to the Integra. This is a hatchback. I think it looks pretty dang good. I was actually at the reveal of this car last year or 2 years ago, whenever that was, and that was quite a bit of fun. But anyways, today we're going to find out how efficient this Integra is on the highway. But if you want to learn more about this thing, make sure you check the link in the description. That'll take you to all of our other Integra videos, including Charlie's sound system test on this ELS Studio 3D sound system. But let's get started. So then why do we do this test? Well, the EPA's fuel economy test, which gives this 6-speed manual Integra 36 MPG on the highway, only averages 48 miles per hour. And we know that some people like to take their cars on actual road trips. So what we're going to do today is go out 50 miles and back 50 miles, averaging 70 miles per hour to get a more real world figure. A couple of things worth noting for today's test. Outside temperature is 80 degrees Fahrenheit. It has finally warmed up in Michigan. We're going to be running the climate control inside the cabin at 73 degrees auto. Tire pressures have been set to their factory door placard indicated 35 PSI front and 33 PSI rear cold. And we'll be using the same gas pump both times, using the same 3-click filling method to get the most accurate results possible. Let's hop out, grab our first fill. Just under 8 gallons of premium fuel going into the Integra there for our first fill. That's reset. That's on 73 auto. We're rolling here. Let's go ahead and get started. Now, there's a bit of traffic today, so we're going to a slightly different location for our turnaround. Shouldn't make too big of a difference. Anyways, 3 different drive modes here in the Acura Integra. We have Sport, Normal, and Comfort. I'm going to run today's test in Comfort mode because I think that makes the most sense. It kind of softens everything up and is probably honestly equivalent to what an eco mode would be in any other car. I don't see any sort of econ button that you sometimes get in Hondas. So we're going to run today's test in Comfort mode and see how that goes. All right, highway's about a half mile away. I'm going to drive nice and carefully until I get there, and I'll update you all once I am merging on. Now, the purpose of this test is not to hypermile. I'm simply going to merge onto the highway, set the cruise control to a GPS indicated 72 miles per hour, and just drive like any normal person would. Not going to be doing any sort of drafting or purposefully economical driving here. Just going to safely merge, set our cruise. I don't know what kind of contraption that is up there, but we'll go ahead and get up to speed. We're going to select the middle lane, hopefully get around that guy. Get our cruise set here. I already had it toggled on. Okay. Set that to 72. We can adjust our distance here for our radar cruise. And let's make sure we are running accurate there, 1-to-1. Looks like we are. Under first highway impressions, the Integra is quite cozy. We've got pretty good performance as far as NVH goes. Not a ton of wind or road noise here. These Alcantara seats hug you in nicely. They're quite supportive. And we seem to have a pretty good adaptive cruise, and we also have lane keep assist or lane centering. As you can see here, I can operate it with this button on the lower right hand side of the steering wheel, and it'll let you go for a little ways before it nudges you to take control. But overall, I think we're going to have a pretty good trip here in this Integra. We're already averaging out 31 MPG. So just a reminder, EPA is 36. So I'm expecting to see somewhere around there, maybe 1 or 2 MPG over, 37 or 38. But I'm going to go ahead and get settled in here in the Integra. I guess the only thing I am noticing is that screen seems to be creaking. I don't know if you guys can hear that over bumps. That's making some noise. But that doesn't matter because I'm going to turn up this ELS as soon as I turn off the camera. So I'm going to go ahead and get settled in here, and I'll speak with you all in about 90 or so miles. Wrapping up our drive in the Acura Integra, and indicated on the cluster 43.7 MPG, so quite a bit higher than I was expecting, and I think higher than we got in the Civic Si. I'll have to confirm once I get to the pump, but I think we did 40 or 41 in the Civic Si, so maybe this car's a little bit slipperier, but it is a bit heavier than that car, so maybe conditions were just better today. But super impressive number displayed here on the cluster. And as far as driving this thing goes, it's been an absolute treat. The ELS sound system has done an excellent job. I think Charlie gave it an A, and I would agree with that. And overall, the lane keep assist, it's pretty good. It asks you for steering a little bit more often than I would like. And the adaptive cruise is also a bit safe, but I think you can tweak that in the settings. So really no complaints with driving the Acura Integra on the highway. Seats are supportive, it's quiet, it does all of the things that you would want it to do. So kudos to Acura for making this fun little thing. I'm gonna take my last little journey down here to the petrol station. I'm gonna brim the tank on the Acura Integra, and I will let you know how it did. 2.249 gallons of gas going in there for our final fill. Hop in, see how we did. Today's drive was 95.47 miles. We'll go ahead and divide that by the 2.249 gallons of premium fuel that we put into this Acura Integra, and that gives us 42.44 MPG. Pretty consistent with what we were reading out on the cluster. It was around 43, 44 at the end, so I'm honestly pretty comfortable rewarding this Integra with 43 MPG. Pretty dang impressive for a car that's rated at 36 on the highway. Now, let's go ahead and multiply this by 12.4, as that is our fuel tank capacity, and that gives you an effective highway cruising range of 520 miles. So some pretty impressive numbers here from the Acura Integra, especially when you consider that the Civic Si we tested last year got just 39 MPG, though that was a cold test, and that honestly makes quite a bit of difference. So they're probably pretty even if you were to stack them up, you know, test to test. So not too bad for a car that definitely weighs more. And yeah, I mean, overall, I'm quite happy. I'm pleased with the 43 MPG that this achieves. So there you go, 43 MPG, 520 miles of effective highway cruising range. If you want to learn more about the Acura Integra, make sure you check the links in the description. That'll take you to all of our other videos on it. But that'll wrap it up for us today. Thank you all so much for watching. This has been Chris here with Daily Motor, and as always, drive on.